Like, what's wrong with niggas? I don't understand it. Oh yeah, somebody sent me this, by the way. I'm probably not gonna watch this whole thing, but I did want to add to this. When we talking about Joey bitch at right now, actually, somebody sent me this and said, "What do you think?" And I haven't seen it yet, but without having seen any part of this, the Joey Badass versus the West Coast needs to be added to this immediately. Diggy in 2025. Y'all don't remember Diggy versus J. Cole? Still one of the funniest things I ever seen in my life. That a prepubescent Diggy Simmons, who no one ever called good in his entire career at rapping, thought that in a moment where his sister was referenced, he could go crazy on J. Cole. Who I would also say at that moment, from what I remember, I don't remember when Friday Night Lights came out. If you listen to Friday Night Lights as Diggy Simmons and thought, you know what, I could kill this nigga in a rap battle, no way. You gotta be a different type of individual.
Please talk more about digging and J. Cole. Like anything about it.
Well, there's nothing really to say. I'm pretty sure this is going to explain it. But this is what I wanted to say. How delusional you gotta be in some of these battles. How stacked the odds are in one person's favor more often than not. And I might be on the outside of this, but if we're talking about most embarrassing, I know you're gonna disagree, but I might add Kendrick and Drake. I just might. The way the whole thing played out, I might just put that on here too, along with Joey Badass versus the West Coast. I'm gonna definitely explain what I mean with the Joey and the West Coast thing, but Drake and Kendrick low-key deserve to be here. As good, as entertaining as it was, as big as it was, man.
From Diggy Simmons trying to diss J. Cole after Cole hooked up with his sister and getting clowned for it, to Rich the Kid getting jumped by a
Oh, that's even worse. What the fuck? Wait.
5'4" Lil Uzi Vert and running.
Oh, I thought it was Beetlejuice who jumped Rich the Kid. I was about to go crazy.
No way. There have been plenty of embarrassing beefs in hip-hop. So today we're going to be
I'm trying my absolute best to never be racist, but as soon as I saw his face pop up, I was like, damn.
looking into hip-hop's most embarrassing beefs, starting off with Diggy Simmons versus J. Cole. Diggy Simmons is the son of Reverend Run, one of the founding members of Run DMC. He had the spotlight on him ever since he was a child because he started his acting career, and while he did have some success of his own in music, one of his most notable moments was his beef with J. Cole, which in my opinion might have been one of the most embarrassing in hip-hop history. Keep in mind, Diggy started his music career while he was still really young, so this beef kicked off when he was just 17. Some tension started to build up after J. Cole released two songs, Purple Rain in 2010 and Grew Up Fast in 2011. Diggy took offense to the lyrics in both songs, which were seemingly directed towards his older sister, Vanessa Simmons. In Purple Rain, Cole describes a relationship with her when he says, "Good girl, huh? Father was a preacher. Sent her off to college, thought he got her on a leash though. From outside, man, them girls be the squeakiest. You get him inside, them girls be the freakiest." Apparently, Cole...
That sounds like something J. Cole would have said at that time.
Cole and Vanessa went to St. John's University together, so that in combination with the fact that her father was a preacher, led fans and Diggy to assume...
Four-letter word? Are you quoting Diggy Simmons songs in my chat right now?
...that Cole was talking about her. However, Vanessa has denied ever having that sort of relationship with Cole during college. But then, when Cole name-dropped Diggy and Vanessa on Grew Up Fast, things escalated quickly. He said, "Move along, cocksucker, ain't nothing to see. Unless you talking blockbusters, you guys is not Russell. You more Diggy. Me, I'm more Biggie. No diss to the young boy, I'm just rapping. Get bored quickly." And a bit later in the song, he says, "What up, Vanessa? I loved you that one semester." Diggy pretty obviously had enough of all the comments on his family, so he decided to put out his own diss. I mean, I'd be pretty mad too if someone was rapping about knocking down my sister.
I don't think I'd give a fuck, to be honest. Maybe like I said, I grew up different. I don't know. I don't take pride in stuff like that.
Anyways, Diggy's track was titled What You Say to Me and addressed all the rumors. He says, the other day I was
What I'm supposed to do? Like, I just don't get, like, what do you do in that situation?
listening to Purple Rain. Couldn't believe all the things I heard him say. Heard you lying on my sis.
You care a little? I wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, let's do a collab. But I wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta make a diss record on a nigga. And why was J. Cole even beefing with Diggy? I didn't know he was this, like, I didn't know he was pressing the little nigga buttons. I didn't know that.
People that you hit. When you...
Like, you supposed to be big bro in this situation. Why are you doing all of that? Did Diggy even say nothing? Or say anything?
Album drops, I'ma hit you with your brick. So
What if he said he wanna fuck? You see what I'm saying, bro? Like,
I'm first on you since you wanna rip. The diss track got a lot of attention and left many people wondering if it was an April Fool's joke, since it was kind of odd for a young Diggy Simmons to be going after J. Cole.
Diggy was
However,
ready.
as it turns out, the song was actually recorded a year prior and only got out because it had leaked. However, the song leaking is a bit of a strange coincidence, since the track was leaked just 1 week after Diggy dropped his debut
this is so crazy.
album.
He dropped the album and this was the cover shot. OMG.
To not much success. Then Diggy's dad, Reverend Run, backed up his son on Twitter saying, J. Cole puts out 2 records dissing family and Diggy and nobody cared. Someone leaks an old Diggy record and there's a problem.
Hey, bro, just stay out this one, cuz. You still in that bathtub in 2025. Can you get up now is the point.
Diggy also further explained everything shortly after this
Do you need help, Unk?
on an interview.
You know, but they didn't even really know each other like that, so it wasn't like that. And then, you know, she also told me, you know, that he subliminally, you know, also talked about, you know, like her in a song called Purple Rain, which was also false.
Now, look, I love my sisters. All 7 of them. But I can only... I believe you on all basically anything else, but the whole... We didn't fuck, but maybe, I'll be honest, that's not my jurisdiction. That's why I don't want to know shit like that. I really don't. It's not my business. Cause you could easily just lie to me, and I'm not one to say like what did or didn't happen. I'm not judging you. You always gonna be sis at the end of the day, but I just don't know. And God forbid, your sister telling you one thing, you look crazy. What if a nigga actually just OD? Now you gotta kill him because he leaked a video or something like that. After she told you, you done made diss record after diss record, and then some shit come out. Oh my God, I would be so unhappy. I just don't want to know. Just don't tell me. It's not my business. It's not my business.
Okay.
And so, you know, it was just like, you know, me sticking up for my family. You know, that's all it really was. And like I said, you know, that's my sister. You know,
Right.
if you feel a certain exactly over everything, you know, that's how I felt.
At this
But
point,
definitely you can like 100% you can go in and defend, but it's just like you gotta make it look a certain way.
Vanessa again
I would defend my sister. I mean, that sound good.
publicly denied the rumors when she tweeted, okay, enough with the f***ery on my timeline now. Our brothers are protective over us because guys stay lying. More importantly, that shit never happened. And after all of the Twitter drama, it seemed like things were starting to cool down.
I'm not seeing J. Cole not dangerously corny at that time, because he probably could have been, but you just don't know.
For J. Cole, you guys allegedly pieced it up. How did that conversation go?
I didn't even put it out. That leaked. But it was just like, you know, he came up to me and he was just like, you know, it's all good. I didn't even mean it in that way. Like, you know, none of that even happened, and I wasn't saying that I was doing any of that. That song that I made before he even made that song that had my name in it. So, I mean, it was whatever. I wasn't really tripping over it.
However, half a year later, when Kendrick invited Cole on stage to perform with him, Cole dropped a line that many people thought was targeting Diggy. He says, picture me hating on a young guy with talent. Album flopped, but it's cool he caked out on his allowance. Which is pretty funny, because he's, you know, a Nepo baby. So in response, Diggy came back quick with his own diss track.
Wait, I thought it ended there.
Titled Fall Down, which was debuted on The Breakfast Club. Diggy rap, I guess I rattled you, Snaggletooth. You know better, thought J stood for Jermaine, not Jet Setter. You seen me and shook...
Oh, he said he fanned out. He said he fanned out. Raymundo, I appreciate you with 24. Nothing crazy, not yet.
Took my hand, cop and please in person. Now you act less than a man mentioning me in verses.
Damn.
You used to have dreams of my big sister kissing you. Now it's nightmares of her little brother dissing you.
Damn, that shit's so fucking ass. Whew. Man, he went crazy on bruh.
By this point, Cole had only done some like subliminal low-key disses, didn't seem real into the beef, and he didn't even drop an entire diss track. But after Diggy had a leaked diss track and a released diss track, people were starting to make fun of him. They were clowning on him pretty hard because he kept going at Cole with multiple tracks that never got a response. And on top of that, Cole allegedly smashed his sister. Diggy tried to explain that he was only defending himself in an interview with ThisIs50.com when he said, "It wasn't me, man. He came first."
He definitely did. Oh my God. Hi, yeah. Let me walk it off. Let me walk it off. Yeah. All right. I'm about to reset. I'll reset. I'm back. I'm coming back. I'll reset. I promise you. Yeah, timeout. Flag on the play. Hey, the Knicks only down 3. New York. Hey, New York finest right here. That's Diggy Simmons right there. That's New York finest right there. What do you mean ejection? I'm not going back in
now?
I'm not going back in the corner. I'm saying, like, yeah.
But it was too late. The fans and even other artists fully turned on Diggy in the beef, making it out to be one of the lamest in recent years. Even Childish Gambino referenced the incident on his song Eat Your Vegetables when he said, "No one cares like it's J. Cole and Diggy." It started to become pretty obvious that Diggy...
That's kind of ironic coming from Childish Gambino, though.
He was just using this beef
Pawns
to
and
get
Lord,
more
I appreciate
attention
you,
in the
man.
music industry. By not responding, Cole basically turned all of Diggy's weapons against him and perfectly summed up the situation when he went on to The Breakfast Club.
The Titanic, I'm joking, only provoking, and hopes to go #1 again. Hope it's a rapper disses me just to make this fun again. It's no fair. Pac had Mobb Deep and Biggie, and all I get left with is Tyrese and Diggy.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Jay. I mean, I do feel bad for Diggy because 1, he was just a kid. 2, everyone was just absolutely clowning on him. And 3...
Wait. Let me go back and hear what he said again.
And all I get left with again, provoking, and hopes to go #1 again. Hope it's a rapper disses me just to make this fun again. It's no fair. Pac had Mobb Deep and Biggie, and all I get left with is Tyrese and Diggy.
What do you mean that aged poorly?
Come on, Jay. I mean, I do feel bad for Diggy.
Please don't.
Diggy, because 1, he was just a kid. 2, everyone was just absolutely clowning on him. And 3, Cole cracked his sister. So that's a pretty rough spot to be in. And believe it or not, Nick Cannon was in a very similar situation as Diggy in his beef with it.
Yeah, this was also very bad. This was, like, terrible. I don't even need to play this entire thing. I think from what I remember, actually, wasn't this recent disses? I remember Eminem and Mariah made Obsessed about Eminem, right? And then I don't even think this was in relation to Mariah, though, was it? They just had their own individual back and forth, right? Holy shit.
Eminem. Nick Cannon has done pretty much everything in the entertainment industry, including rapping, acting, hosting a show, comedy, and a bunch of other things. Probably his most notable show is Wild 'N Out. However, Nick also got into a beef with Eminem, which didn't end up so well for him. It all started over Mariah Carey, who Eminem has claimed to have dated for months, but she has always...
Mariah having a better diss track was crazy. Yo, you know how crazy Obsessed went? I forgot what year it came out. It might have been 07, 08. That was probably one of the biggest records for a cool little minute. And when I was a kid, I never knew it was about Eminem.
Denied these claims on multiple occasions. Years after their alleged relationship, Nick Cannon came into the picture when he started dating Mariah and eventually married her. Because of this, Eminem dropped a song called Bagpipes from Baghdad in 2009. This track went pretty hard at both Mariah and her newly wedded husband Nick, alluding to Mariah's struggles with alcoholism. During the song, Eminem said a bunch of wild things, most of which were directed at the two. He said, "Nick Cannon, better back the fuck up. I'm not playing. I want her back, you punk. Nick, you had your fun. I've come to kick you in your sack of junk. Man, I could use a fresh batch of blood."
Oh my god, this nigga was so corny.
"Nick Cannon, you prick. I wish you luck with the fucking whore. In the bed with 2 brain-dead lesbian vegetables, I bet you they become heterosexual. Nothing will stop me from molesting you. Lure the little boy with the chocolate chips of..."
Niggas really took this serious?
"Boy, chip cookie lookie even took me a Polaroid pic."
Holy shit!
Eminem says a lot of weird things. That cookie line was crazy, but regardless, this obviously upset Nick and Mariah. Immediately, a Twitter feud between Nick and Eminem began and got so...
See, this is why I can only take people so seriously, because it's like, dude, you gotta be honest with yourself at some point. You hear raps like this and be like, the greatest rapper of all time, bro, come on. I get it, though. I understand, because there are just as many great moments that he's had lyrically than moments that he's had as trash, but... when the trash bin is almost as equal, as like almost equally as filled up as the good bin, it's like, dude, what's really your legacy when we really like break it all down?
So heated that even Diddy and Dr. Dre had to step in. In the end, Nick posted a now deleted Tumblr post saying he would be taking
Tumblr post. Oh my God.
full action on you, Eminem. I don't know why no one has stood up to your ass yet, but I guess it's going to take a corny, whack-rapping voice away from Nickelodeon to set you straight. And trust, I'm
Whoever said that he was greater than Wayne?
going to be relentless.
Oh my God, the Knicks are only down 1. Please. I would love, please, no, Miles Turner, no. Yes, you bitch.
Even though I got a lot of other obligations and occupations, you are my new full-time job, homie. I asked myself, should I go find this bitch and just whoop his little ass? Let's not forget Eminem's amateur mixtape rants of calling African Americans the N-word and how he hates black bitches. How did we let him get away with that in the first place?
Yeah.
He is a natural-born racist in disguise. Someone tell this coward that he finally barked up the wrong tree. Before Nick took full action like he said, his new wife...
But saying that on Tumblr kind of crazy.
Mariah, who at first stayed quiet, dropped her popular song Obsessed, which is a subtle diss against Eminem and his behavior. In the music video, a stalker appeared which heavily resembled Eminem, so it's really funny that this song is low-key an Eminem diss. However, a month later, Eminem dropped his response.
And I heard this song. And even on the diss where he responded in detail how he fucked her, he still looked like a loser.
Titled The Warning. This track had a similar vibe to the first diss and had a notable line acknowledging Mariah's track Obsessed when he said, I got the same exact tat that's on Nick's back. I'm obsessed now. Oh gee, is that supposed to be me in the video with the goatee? Nick responded positively at first by putting up some Bible quotes on social media, but he wasn't finished yet. And about a year later in 2010 dropped his own clapback titled I'm a Slick Rick. You could argue that Eminem's massively loyal fanbase had a hand in this, but overall the public reaction was that the song was very bad and a comical excuse of a diss.
I never heard it. Let me hear it.
A few times commenting on the beef as he normally does. Then Nick took things to another level and decided to challenge Eminem to a boxing match in a now deleted post where he said, the time has come. Boys talk the talk, but men walk the walk. Nick has laid down the challenge to meet Eminem in the ring. However, not only did Eminem not respond to the boxing match, which wasn't that surprising, he also didn't even acknowledge Nick's I'm Slick Rick diss either. Usually, by not responding, you'd think that might be a sign of losing, but in Eminem's case, most people chalked it up to M being way too big to even worry about what Nick Cannon was saying on Twitter. As the years went by and Nick separated from Mariah, the guys appeared to have smoothed things over, with Eminem even being invited onto Nick's show Wild 'N Out. However, he never ended up appearing on the show.
Damn. You extended the olive branch and he smacked your hand down and said, get away from me, you black...
And this is where things start to get a bit embarrassing.
Last time I saw you, you were getting ready to battle Eminem, and I'm still ready.
Oh no, I didn't know it went like this.
What I'm saying, Tim, glad that didn't happen. That would have been horrible. You're in the room, I'm writing for you, but that would have been horrible. Yo, Tim. So your face, I would have been there for you, but oh my God. Well, listen, I'm trying to find him. Where is he?
At this
No, Nick. Bro, I didn't know it was like this. You became Eminem from Obsessed?
point, the beef was already pretty one-sided, with Nick being the only one keeping it going.
Hold on, wait. Why she walk out like that?
At this point, the beef was already
I might still go at that time.
pretty one-sided, with Nick
Shawn, I
being
think
the only
people
one
on the show
keeping it
made
going.
jokes
And
about
so he
it to
appeared to
his
have
face.
realized this and fell back for a
Really?
bit. That was till a couple years later in 2019 when Nick would again bring up the beef during a podcast with T.I.
He didn't want to battle me.
This was one of the worst ideas T.I. ever had in his entire life. I don't think this is still going though anymore, right?
It could have went down.
Can you blame him?
And this motherfucker drop a song, like, talking shit. Like,
Oh, man.
calling her all kind of bitches and hoes. I'm like, this is my wife. This is my new wife.
Ooh.
He did one podcast where he told his wife, how you gonna say no to sex?
I got, like, and
It was hard.
I
That
wrote,
would've been hard.
yeah, I wrote a letter first. I wrote a letter. This was like right, I believe right when, I don't even know if Twitter had came out. It was
Right.
right during that time when social media just started popping. So I wrote this long ass letter, pretty much saying, "Look,
He's
I
still
respect you
going.
as an artist,
Right.
but from man to man, you talking out of pocket to my wife, you gotta be held
Facts.
accountable for that."
Hold
But
him.
if you've ever seen Marshall Mathers in person, he's not someone that looked like he really wants to smoke with most.
Damn.
After Nick talked for years about this beef without Eminem saying a word, Eminem decided to respond on Fat Joe's song Lord Above. M said, "I know me and Mariah didn't end on a high note, but that other dude's whipped, that you got him neutered. Tried to tell him this chick's a nut job before he got his jewels clipped. Almost got my caboose kicked, fool quit, you not gonna do shit. I'd let her chop my balls off too before I lost to you, Nick." After this went viral, Nick played it on his show and started making fun of Eminem for his age. Nick said, "We should change his name from Eminem to like Percocet. What's the pill that old people take? We gonna call him Cialis. Bring your walker, get out your wheelchair, Eminem, and pop whatever you want to pop." Should I respond back to this? It's not worthy of a response.
I did not know it got this corny. I thought they left it. I thought they left it after Eminem responded to the one track.
He also went further and posted online saying, "Fat Joe's album is fire. He even did some charity work and dug Eminem out of his grave. I mean, his cave." And he ended the post with another invitation on Wild 'N Out to Grandpa Marshall for a rap battle. But
Oh my fucking god.
Eminem again did not respond to this, so Nick made another diss track called The Invitation.
Now this is when I came in and I wondered like what it was about.
And this time though, Nick came with some pretty serious accusations in his diss, including name-dropping Eminem's ex-wife and daughter, along with the past beef with Mariah when he said, "Call Kim, somebody get Haley, and that other kid you raising, that ain't even your baby. My baby mama killed you off a decade ago. You still crying about it. Now who really the hoe?" Nick
Was he really still crying about it though?
also even alleged that Eminem's chauffeur got a video of him giving another dude head, and Eminem very quickly took to Twitter with his response, shooting down all the scandalous rumors, especially about the...
Now come on, bro. You not beating the dick and butt allegations. You gonna say I never had a chauffeur? That don't even make any sense to me. You Eminem, you've made hundreds of millions of dollars. You never had a chauffeur, bro? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Let's not be obtuse. Let's not do too much. Now, I know you done had a chauffeur before at some point. At the end of the day, though, it's all good because I don't believe the first story anyway. It's fine.
And very quickly took to Twitter with his response, shooting down all the scandalous rumors, especially about the chauffeur.
He said Nicholas? No, he said Nicholas. We already know who Eminem is.
Nick clapped back with his own tweet, and then that same month, he dropped another diss titled Pray For Him. And again, that same month as well, before Eminem even had a chance to respond, Nick dropped another diss called Cancelled Invitation. The music video contained a bunch of old clips where Eminem was saying some pretty rough stuff about the black and LGBTQ communities, and while the statements didn't look great on Eminem, I think most of the fans had already had enough of Nick Cannon, and like the comments on his other disses, everyone overwhelmingly clowned him. Nick basically dropped 3 diss tracks in a row with no response from Eminem except for a tweet, and he just started looking desperate for attention. And I think Nick realized this too, because in a 2022 interview with Hip Hop DX, he said, "I was a little overzealous, I was a little heavy-handed, and I was legitimately hot and wanted to fight and all. I was a different guy, so I was mad. But at the end of the day, I ain't going to stand for no disrespect either." So in hindsight, I probably would have been a little bit more strategic and let maybe 1 or 2 of them linger.
This dude's not serious. He's not serious. Whole time you making broken families at the crib. You know, if Eminem did ever respond to this, which, you know, obviously he wouldn't have, but Jesus Christ.
But to me, I showed up with a cannon to a knife fight, so I think he still thinks he won, which is kind of crazy. There haven't been any updates on the situation since then, but after Nick dropped 3 diss tracks to no response all within the same month, I think it's safe to say who won that battle, but I'll leave that up to you.
There were no winners in that battle. Everyone, well, Mariah is the only winner in that situation.
You guys,
because basically her rule of thumb was, I'm not gonna fuck Eminem no more, and I'm not gonna fuck Nick Cannon no more. And I'm going to leave with the best record out of all of this.
Decide. And Nick must have been smoking something crazy to think he could beat Eminem in a diss battle. But that doesn't mean that we should be smoking it too. Flavored air is becoming a major alternative.
You I fuck with it though. I definitely fuck with it.
But at least the situation never got physical. Because when Rich the Kid beefed with Lil Uzi Vert, he didn't end up getting that lucky. Around 2018, Rich the Kid and Lil Uzi were both already pretty relevant. So when the 2 rappers started beefing, everyone took notice. But instead of a bunch of heated...
Did they though? I saw one video of them potentially maybe getting into an altercation at a bodega. Maybe I was wrong about it being a bodega. I don't know. Maybe it was New York. I don't know. They all look the same.
It diss tracks
The bodegas. What? New York, not black people.
back and forth. We got something a little bit different. In 2018, Uzi was posting about some label issues he was having with DJ Drama because he signed to his imprint.
He did say
Generation
this.
Now. Uzi dropped some games saying, and if y'all do sign to a major. Don't sign to a rapper. Or a DJ. It's just easier when the time comes for that fake shit. A couple of hours later, Rich the Kid replied, somewhat making fun of Uzi by saying, that's why you should have signed with Rich forever.
It's
Uzi
always somebody in a moment where you just don't need that joke to be trying to get some shit off, bro. If this is the reason that it all started, I completely understand.
He very quickly clapped back saying, boy, I'm not signing.
Damn. Damn, bruh. Cats making those? Holy shit. Damn, bro. 20 racks?
For 20 racks. Then, 2 days later, Rich posted on his Instagram story, sort of making fun of Uzi.
Hey man, your boss ain't treating you right, the CEO ain't treating you right, man. Come over to Rich Family Music, you know what I'm saying? Come over to Rich Family Music.
About a month later, after no response from Uzi, Rich took his offer back. And I don't even know if this was a real offer now, but
I used to get Rich the Kid and Famous Boy Dex, or what was his name? Famous Dex. I just put Boy in there. I used to get them mixed up so many times.
it just seemed like Rich was forcing a beef that wasn't even there in the first place.
Right? Yo, if Uzi didn't have a deal, would you sign him?
No.
Why not?
Not right now. Maybe back then.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not now?
Maybe I would sign him on my business, but not, you know what I'm saying? For
Oh, okay. You saying everybody did. I thought it was just me.
personal reasons, I wouldn't sign him.
Yeah.
About a month later, Uzi came back with a pretty funny and unserious response, posting a picture with him and a crab, and the crab was tagged as Rich the Kid. Uzi had also recently dyed his hair green, and Rich the Kid had green hair, so he responded saying, oh, look at my son, Lil Uzi Vert, trying to look just like me. Things started to look especially bad for Rich when the next day he posted a snippet of a diss track on Uzi. In the preview, some lyrics directly tied to Uzi were, your money getting shorter, which is a jab at Uzi's track Money Longer. Then later in the song, there was a reference to EXO Tour Life, where he says, all them dead friends, you a little middleman, you a little man.
Okay.
Again, while Uzi was seemingly trolling, it just looked like Rich was trying to force it. However, things began to simmer down for a while. That was only until months later, during the week of Rich the Kid's debut album release, when he decided to revisit the beef by fully releasing the Uzi diss track, Dead Friends. This was obviously a move to get a bunch of attention around the album drop, and a bold one at that, especially with what was depicted in the video that dropped later that month. But before the video was dropped, Uzi did respond with a verse on a G Herbo song. Uzi said, Rich mad cause you ate my kids or something. And later, I'm going mode, TY, tell me when to go. Boy, you ain't rich, you a bitch. Rich called the response trash and went through with dropping the craziest music video for Dead Friends. In the video, an Uzi lookalike, desperate to sign a record deal, is jumped and then buried alive by Rich and his crew. At the same time, Rich also released a remix of 3 6 Mafia's Who Run It track, which included several disses aimed at Uzi. On top of this, in following weeks, Rich continued to keep the beef alive, yelling stuff out at concerts like, that guy Lil Uzi, man. By this point, again, Uzi didn't seem that serious because someone asked him about the beef and Uzi said, bless Rich and his family. Again, he could have been trolling, but at the end of the day, Uzi was not taking this too serious. For about a month, nothing really came from either side. At least,
Okay, this is not a bodega.
that was until they ran into each other.
No, wait, it might be.
While they were both in Philly performing
It's not a boat.
for the Roots picnic. Basically what happened was, Uzi and his crew pulled up on Rich and
I remember this, but I had no context.
his crew, seemingly trying to talk things out at first.
He was not going over there. Not gonna lie, it's kind of aura right now. It's giving aura.
Many fans pointed out how Uzi was standing there all by himself while Rich was hiding behind his security. After this, though, things started to get intense.
Oh, shit.
First, when things got heated, Rich and his crew just took off. Then, Uzi and his crew found Rich at a Starbucks where
He found. Yo, found is the funniest shit in the world to me.
he was hiding and hands started flying. At one point after the altercation, Rich even resorted to jumping behind the counter with workers at the coffee shop.
Nah, Nah, that's hilarious. I'm sorry.
And finally, after the scuffle, you can see Uzi get back in the whip and ride away. Everything seemed to happen really fast with tons of different people from different angles recording it. Rich immediately hopped online to show off that he and his jewelry were unscathed during the altercation, saying,
Niggas pulled up and did what? Did what?
Nah, they got you on video, bro. Might not have been 4K, but it's definitely on some 1080p shit from Instagram back then. They definitely got you. Hard body, though.
Walk around Philly like this.
Regardless, this resulted in the entire internet making fun of Rich the Kid, especially since Uzi's like 5'2" and just ran his ass down.
Yeah, today for Monday, June 4th, goes to Rich Homie the Kid. Now, if you're old like me, then you'll continue.
Rich the Kid, man.
Okay, I'm old. Now we are getting to the reason that the homie Rich is getting donkey today. See, somebody swung at Rich, and it looked like they connected, and he immediately jumped behind the counter at Starbucks and started to make a triple mocha frappuccino. Now, maybe he didn't think we were going to see the footage of him jumping behind the counter to make an iced Starbucks blonde cold foam cappuccino, and to avoid the wrath of the sassy savage Lil Uzi. Look, Rich Quan. In life, you have to live.
Why are you calling him Quick the Kid?
Your truth. When you live your truth, nobody can use your truth against you. I mean, truth is that video.
That's not true. I don't know why he said this.
Uzi swinging on you.
The truth can be used against you in every situation.
And you jumping behind the counter will be used against you.
You think because you told me the truth, I'm not going to, like, what?
Online and lie. All witnessed you get punked by the sassy savage, Little Uzi. So please give Rich the Quan Homie the Kid the biggest hee-haw.
His name is Rich the Kid. It's Rich the Kid.
I gave up on
Wow.
Rich Homie Quan and Rich the Kid. Two different people.
If you say so.
But then for the years following, we wouldn't hear anything about this. Eventually, though, it seemed like the beef was squashed, and Rich spoke about it in an interview.
Rich, I'm just gonna straight ask you, man. Where is you and Uzi Vert's relationship now?
No, we ain't got no beef. We straight. Cool.
So
I bet you
overall,
are.
it seemed like throughout the entire
I'll be
beef,
straight too
Rich
after
was
that.
more about the smoke. But when
Straight as in good.
things came in person, he ran and was chased off by the 5'4" little Uzi Vert, which amongst everything else,
5'4"
including lying
demon.
about it online and all that, none of this was a good look for Rich the Kid. And while Rich the Kid got by a little dude, Ice-T got trolled super hard by a very young Soulja Boy. Back in 2007, Soulja Boy blew up from his song Crank That at the young age of just 17. Well, he had some really catchy songs that
Bro, Ice-T.
performed very well. He also got a lot of hate, especially from the genre's OGs. And while Soulja's been notorious for having tons of beef, none of his other ones were so iconic that they ended up getting their own Boondocks parody. Apparently, it all started when Ice-T was in the studio working on a mixtape.
I don't remember this, I'm gonna be honest. And I think this also kind of goes to show a little bit how you block out everything that isn't within your generation while you're consuming it. Because now I get how like a nigga like right now could be listening to Netspin if somebody like a J. Cole were to diss him or some shit like that. Granted, it is J. Cole, but you know what I'm saying, standards wise, like you're not hearing none of the bullshit noise. You're just listening to your favorite rapper.
When T got into the booth,
And no, I'm not saying Soulja Boy was my favorite rapper at one point, but he was up there.
some guys he was with started throwing shade, claiming people don't want to hear his stuff anymore, and that they'd rather listen to new
I'm not saying Netspin is trash. I'm just saying I'm using it as a comparison.
artists like Soulja Boy. So obviously he was frustrated, and T let out a pretty funny rant that he had no intentions of actually releasing.
Black Ice, Ice-T, Silver the Navigator, fuck Soulja Boy, eat a dick. This nigga single-handedly killed hip-hop.
Oh, brother. Yo, he been saying this shit forever.
Soulja Boy, let me talk about Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, I know you're young enough to be my kid, but you single-handedly kill hip-hop, man. That shit's garbage. And Hurricane, take them fucking beads out your fucking hair, kid.
You talking to two niggas that had hits. Stop talking to me, bruh.
Come on, man up, you niggas. Stop bullshitting. You niggas is making me feel real fucking mad about this shit.
However, unknown to
Who he sound like? Wait a minute.
This is making me feel real fucking mad about this shit.
Who he sound like somebody, bro. I can't put my finger on it.
However, unknown to Ice-T, his now ex-associates included the entire rant as the intro track on the mixtape, which went very viral. And since Soulja Boy was not only new to the game but also 17, he felt the need to respond to Ice-T with his own rant.
Bro, I had no idea that this is what this rant was inspired by. I had no idea, bro.
The video starts with Soulja and his boys watching the Ice-T diss. Then about 30 seconds in, Soulja cuts the clip off and starts going in on Ice-T for his age.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, grown as you is.
Okay, we came on.
Man, fuck all that. Look at here. This nigga Ice-T old as fuck. This nigga old enough to be my great grandfather. Like, he's the forefather of my nuts, nigga. This nigga. Hey, born, man. Hey, we Wikipedia this nigga. This nigga was born in 19.
They said we Wikipedia this nigga, bruh. Like, what? You compare and you think of the Soulja Boy now versus the Soulja Boy then. Like, this nigga was quick, witty, on point with it. You look at a Soulja Boy in the back and forth now, shit just sad.
58.
Throughout his response, Soulja said a bunch of different things, like making fun of him for being old, making fun of him for repping the West Coast while being from New Jersey, and appearing in Law and Order as a cop while being on songs like Cop Killer. There was one part that was especially funny where Soulja got confused and said that Ice-T made NWA's song F the Police, which that was Ice Cube, not Ice-T. Regardless, he threw a 7-minute long barrage of disses, so he was bound to mess up at some point.
How you gonna make a song called Fuck the Police 35 years later, yo?
Nah, this is definitely a huge egregious one. That's actually crazy. I did not know he said that.
As playing the police on TV.
Soulja did claim that it wasn't beef and that he respects Ice-T as a legend, but the things T said forced him to respond. He also explained that in music, you have to adapt to the times because if you don't, you'll fall behind. Soulja was saying that Ice-T, who wasn't doing so great commercially at the time, was just hating on an up-and-comer. Overall, when Soulja wasn't just clowning on Ice, he did make some good points, which appeared to resonate well with the audience, and the situation started looking kind of bad on T.
At the end of this video, though, the point that we're trying to get across was, man, you was wrong for that, man. Think about it in my shoes, man. This time last year, I was poor as fuck. I was in the hood. I was in the ghetto. If what you living is true, you will understand where I'm coming from. Nigga, I wasn't born rich, nigga. I wasn't born in no big ass house like this. Nigga, I worked. I'm 17 years old, dog. Nigga, I worked hard for this shit. You feel me? Even if it was all this got me out for one song, you should be congratulating. You should be congratulating. Real talk. You should be telling me, congratulations, young brother. Get your money.
Damn.
That's what you be saying. That's what you should be saying instead of eat a dick.
In the closing part of his rant, Soulja said that if Ice-T thinks hip-hop is dying, he should do something to save it, instead of just on the genre's new stars. By this point, believe it or not, 17-year-old Soulja Boy actually looked to be a bit more mature, which you would never expect. However, nobody expected Ice-T's response either.
Hey, what's up? It's Iceberg, man. I want to reply to all this internet drama that's going down, you know what I'm saying? I said something about this kid Soulja Boy while doing the mixtape, you know?
His build is so crazy. Nigga built just like my Uncle Sherman.
The cats took it, you know, they basically were asking me
how awful of a recorder could you have gotten at this point?
how I felt about it, you know, the state of hip-hop.
Like, could you have used a worse camera?
Soulja Boy, and I went on one, you know what I'm saying? So I apologize, Soulja Boy, for telling you to eat a dick. That was just in anger, you understand? Because truthfully, you know, a brother of my caliber shouldn't be talking down on a youngster your age.
So opening with an apology was a
Why is he talking like that?
bit of a weird move, but it made a little more sense after T clearly realized he's too big and too old probably.
I think the camera got cancer. What the fuck going on? Oh my god.
Soulja Boy. Ice-T also doubled down saying that Soulja's music was garbage, and he did say that he shouldn't have said what he said, but he also said Soulja shouldn't have responded. He continued by kind of threatening Soulja Boy, claiming that the West Coast, the OGs, and all of hip-hop will go after him if he goes back at Ice-T.
What the fuck?
Overall, the video didn't really help his case and just made him look a bit worse. And what Soulja Boy did was really funny, because instead of responding with a diss track or some strong words, he put out a animated video on YouTube. Soulja Boy might have been the first rapper to troll another rapper on the internet.
Hey yo, G, this Ice-T.
Oh my fucking... Bro, do y'all remember this era of video? What was this video era called? Oh my god, Feel No Bep! Oh my god, that shit was amazing! Oh my god, bro, they just unlocked a memory. They just unlocked a memory.
If you 50 years and older, you might remember me. But to everybody 49 years old, younger, I'm Ice-T.
Dot
Playboy, yeah.
and Thor turned gangster rap. You know, cop killer turned cop.
Most viewers
my
thought this
God.
response was pretty funny, especially with how serious Ice-T was being beforehand.
Dog.
But eventually the beef just fizzled out. The situation was so talked about that even the Boondocks made a parody episode about the beef.
Now what about Sergeant Gutter? Man, Sergeant Gutter, that nigga can eat a dick. Wow.
Fuck this old ass nigga, man. This old nigga is old enough to be my dad. And he telling me to eat a dick? Nigga, what's wrong with you? You a grown ass man and you telling a 15-year-old to eat a dick? I know your mother raised you better than that, dog. Matter of fact, excuse me, is this Miss Jenkins? Yes,
Oh my God.
My name is Sergeant Gutter. Now, I don't know if you aware, but your son said some very rude things about me on the radio. Yes, I know. He said some very rude things. He's too old to be acting like that. I know I don't like to use that language either.
I don't know why the first clip is so low res, my apologies, but you guys get the point. Eventually, everything fizzled out, but in 2014, Ice-T finally reflected further on the beef with DJ Vlad.
2014, Jesus.
In this interview, he mostly explained how the beef was never meant to be personal.
And I just felt that they were taking the bar so low on hip-hop, not just that kid, but other kids too. That I was like, yo, man, we worked so hard to get this to this point. Let's keep it fly. It wasn't a direct thing on this kid, because I only heard probably one record. I don't even know. I kind of regret it. I said it because it turned me into a person that seemed like I wanted beef. And that's really not my style.
Yeah.
You know, people felt I got up out of the bed and went in on him.
It seemed like he genuinely realized that he had made some mistakes and regretted it. So in the end, it looks like long-term, no one's career was really negatively affected by this, but at the time, things did not look great for Ice-T when he was definitely punching down on a new artist. I want to put out a honorable mention in this video for Ja Rule and 50 Cent. Most of their beef wasn't that funny or embarrassing or whatever you want to call it, but I will say, in 2018, when 50 Cent allegedly bought 200 front row seats to ensure that Ja Rule's show would be empty in the front, that was pretty funny and didn't look so great for Ja Rule. Regardless though, if you like this video,
It wasn't embarrassing though. That was just fucked up. Because why would you do some shit like that? Like, he's not a serious person. What's the reason? What's the reason? Like, why would you do some shit like that? I know that's petty as shit. Why ever do something like that, bro? That was nicely petty. It was. But still. Still, man. Nigga said shits and gigs. I didn't know it got that bad. I really didn't. I'm thinking I'm gonna see Diggy and I'm gonna see J. Cole and then that's gonna be it, bro. Like, I didn't think that they was gonna put Eminem and fucking Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey and Ice-T versus Soulja Boy. Like, what are we doing? Why are y'all talking to each other? You remember the Ghostface Killer video about Action Bronson? Barely.
You remember the Phil No Beep, Lil Wayne and Kodak vid?
I do. Everything about Phil No Bep is coming back to me now that I've seen this. I'll be honest.
50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather should be an honorable mention.
Yeah, but that ain't hip hop though. I mean, did Floyd make a record? Or am I tripping? Floyd beef was hilarious. Floyd's beef was reading apparently from 50's perspective. Damn, that don't make me look good because I just stuttered. Man, I can't get away with shit in this ecosystem. It's a sad world we live in. Cold days. They giving awards out for the streamer ceremony? This shit just started.
Salsa